Saul Niguez still available. Ruben Loftus-Cheek to follow Tammy Abraham to Roma. Jules Kounde deal off. And Callum Hudson Odoi agreed personal terms with Borussia Dortmund. All that coming up in today's news video, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I'm going to read you out a tweet from David Ornstein, obviously a very reputable Chelsea journalist. Atletico Madrid hierarchy still prepared to let Saul Niguez leave on loan before tomorrow's transfer deadline, but as things stand, Atleti don't have a suitable replacement, and unless that changes, he's staying with the Spanish champions. Now this is from The Athletic 13 minutes ago, so it's new news. The other day there were reports saying that Saul Niguez to Chelsea was completely off, as Atletico Madrid wanted an obligation to buy, as they had already bought De Paul. De Rossi? He's an old Italian geezer. They had already bought De Paul from Udinese as a replacement, and they wanted to make sure that they would get their money back for De Paul from selling Saul outright. But Chelsea were only happy to have a loan bid with an option to buy at the end of the season. So if he didn't perform, or Chelsea didn't really want him that much, they could just call it quits and send him back to Spain. So that meant that the deal looked in jeopardy. But now, according to David Ornstein, they're still prepared to let him leave on loan, but they don't have a replacement, although they have signed De Paul. So I don't know what that's about. I think we definitely need another midfielder before the transfer window ends, as Kante out injured at the moment. Don't know how long he's going to be. It's just Jorginho and Kovacic in the middle. Go on to the next story, talking about our last option in midfield, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. According to reports in Italy, Roma, Jose Mourinho's Roma, who just won 4-0, Tammy Abraham he scored a belter yesterday, got off the mark with his first goal for the Italian club. They're in need of a midfielder, and their list of midfielders are Douglas Luiz, Corentin Tolisso, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Now Loftus-Cheek is pretty much our fourth choice midfielder, obviously Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic, then Loftus-Cheek, but I think Loftus-Cheek is much better suited in one of the number 10 positions that Kai Havertz was playing, Mason Mount, as that's where he did play for Fulham last season. However, going over to Italy, they play with a 4-2-3-1. He could play in that number 10 role, he could play in the sort of the two defensive midfielders, but pushing forwards as well. Along with Tammy Abraham, someone he probably knows quite well from the academy and obviously the Chelsea setup. I think it could be a good move, and with 2 days left, or 1 day left of the transfer window, literally hours, I think this could be a very deal that I can see happening. They play some great football, and I think a move over to Italy with a good team that are going places with a brilliant coach, I think that is exactly what someone like Ruben Loftus-Cheek needs. Confidence, somewhere to grow, and obviously just takes all the pressure off. Now reports are flooded through this afternoon saying that Jules Kounde to Chelsea has collapsed. It is off, and the deal is not going to happen. This is a bit of a blow, as we all thought Jules Kounde could join Chelsea to replace Kurt Zouma, but after almost agreeing 50 million euros, Sevilla kind of ramped it up and instead demanded 65 million euros, which Chelsea are a bit miffed off at, as we're close to agreeing 50. Then they're like, actually, we don't want to sell him, we'll bump it up to 65. We're not in desperate need of him. We have sold Kurt Zouma, but we do have a lot of squad depth in defence. We saw Thiago Silva coming on for Reece James. Azpilicueta went out at right wing back for the red card, so that means there's Azpilicueta, Silva, Christensen, Rudiger, and Trevor Chalobah all able to step in at the centre back roles. Reece James can fit in there as well. We don't need him, but it would be nice to have him. And despite some reports saying that this deal is off, according to Sports Witness, let me read you out the tweet, Chelsea's intention is to make one last attempt to sign Jules Kounde. So we're going to make one last bid, one last push. If we're happy to spend 50 million euros, maybe bump it up to 55, 60, 58 maybe, meet in the middle. They've told his agent they want a deal to be resolved in the next few hours. Kounde is eager to make the move and wants the Blues to match his pressure. Now, Jules Kounde did actually not travel with Sevilla for the game against Elche, as he is trying to force a move away from Sevilla. He has his sights set on Chelsea and wants to move to the European champions. He thinks that he can really improve his game over in London, Stamford Bridge, and I think he is a perfect player, plays out from the back. He would suit Chelsea's defence perfectly. Chelsea obviously want him. We'll make one last bid, one last attempt, and we've told his agent that. So expect it. I do feel bad for Kounde. He wants a deal. Sevilla are just being really tough, and they want to squeeze all the money out. They want to squeeze all the money out. They want to squeeze out all the money they can get from this potential transfer. Now, lastly, similarly to yesterday, the last story, the big story, Callum Hudson-Odoi to Borussia Dortmund. The 20-year-old winger was linked with Borussia Dortmund yesterday, as apparently they were offering a loan move for him to get some first-team experience. We saw what Jadon Sancho's done in Germany, Jude Bellingham, and I thought this would fit him perfectly. And today it has been revealed that he has agreed personal terms with the club for a 1-year loan move. Come back to Chelsea at the end of the season, but there's one stumbling block. Thomas Tuchel is a fan of him, and he wants him to stay in the squad, and it looks like Chelsea are trying to block off this move, even though himself, Callum Hudson-Odoi himself, kind of wants to move. I saw lots of reports saying that he can see himself there next season. I'd be very interested to see if it does go ahead. I think it would be great for him to get some experience, especially in an attacking side with some absolute boulders. Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, like I said, Gio Reyna, they've got a lot of good players. But does Thomas Tuchel really see him featuring loads that he needs to keep hold of him? I don't think he's getting into our attack anytime soon, especially with Lukaku coming back in, Ziyech coming back from fitness. Maybe he sees him playing at right wing back if Reece James is suspended or injured. That's the only real way I can see him getting into this Chelsea squad at right wing back, as apparently Tuchel likes a wing back that can drive forwards, take on a man, and Reece James isn't really that. Maybe that's why we haven't seen Chilwell be part of that team so far this season. He has preferred Marcos Alonso over the Englishman. Anyway, make sure you leave all your comments down below. I'll reply to every single one. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to help me out. Oh, I bought it. Like the video to help me out. Subscribe to help yourself out. Thanks for watching. The transfer window ends tomorrow. See if we can get Kounde over the line, and Saul, and Hudson-Odoi to Dortmund. I'll keep you updated. Goodbye.